So I decided that I am gonna play with makeup today because I got a new eyeshadow palette, which is a sun-kissed one. It's a little glary because the window is right in front of me. This is so satisfying. It's got so many beautiful colors. I'm really digging the purples and the greens in here, and even like this really intense yellow looks really cool. Every time I look at this, I find another shade that I'm just like dying to try and play with, like that really pretty pinky color or that really nice orangey like shimmer shade for fall. To be honest, like the colors that really got me were the greens in here, because even though I did a previous like eyeshadow, like green eyeshadow look, the eyeshadows in that palette exactly what I was going for. They weren't like matte colors, they were more like shimmery colors that I tried to use as matte colors. But in this palette there's like two really pretty matte green shades, which I'm like dying to use. And then also that color, oh my god, there's just so many colors in here that I just want to play with, so it's gonna be kind of difficult for me to choose just one look today. But I figure I might as well play with it today and get a little bit more comfortable with blending and everything, since I am gonna be doing my own makeup for my wedding, because yes, I am getting married. It feels so weird to talk about, but I'm really excited, I'm really happy, and I can't wait. I also wanted to try out a new powder, because even though I really like my Coty Airspun, I don't know if I really want to use it for my wedding day, because I wanted something a little bit brighter and a little bit more like airbrush. I figured I would try the Maybelline Fit Me powder because I've heard a lot of people rave about this powder, and I decided why not. I also picked up a peach corrector from LA Girl. I love their conceal line, so I figured I would get a corrector for these lovely dark circles underneath my eyes and even the darkness around my mouth. I already kind of use a peachy concealer for those areas, so I figured I might as well do that as well. I also got another one of the Essence brand Prime Plus Studio Mattifying Primer. I really like this. I started using the oil control one, and even though I really do like it, I feel like it really does do a good job at mattifying me. It doesn't last as long as this one does, at least not lately. I stopped using this one because I ran out and I just hadn't had time to go purchase a new one, and I wanted to try out that e.l.f. one because I really like their setting spray, and I figured, oh, both of them combined is going to be an amazing combination. But it just wasn't. It wasn't as good at prolonging my makeup as this primer was, so I figured I would go back and purchase this one. Plus this one was on sale. I think I only paid like, I want to say like $2.49 or something like that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start my makeup. I have nowhere to go today. I'm literally just testing out makeup to see what products to use on Saturday. Hopefully this will give me enough time to see like what my makeup will look like by the end of the night. I'm just gonna go ahead and start. I'm gonna use the Essence primer first. I don't really need a lot. Like I just put a little bit in my hand, mostly concentrating it on my T-zone because that's the part that I get oily. It says it has black clay in it, so it has like a really fresh, like clean scent. It's not like perfumey at all, it's just like fresh. For the rest of my face, I like to prime with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. To prime my lids, I always go in with the LA Girl Pro Conceal in Light Ivory, and it's just the primer that well, it's a concealer, but it's just the one that I like to use on my eyelids. I don't really use this color anywhere else on my face because it's more of a yellow undertone, and I feel like the rest of my face is more of a pinky undertone. But I really like it on my eyes because my eyes are so dark that I feel like I need something that's a little bit more yellowy, more bright. It's a pretty good job at concealing all of the darkness in my veins in my eyes. I finally got my sister to actually use liquid foundation. She's pretty normal to dry, and she gets like dry patches, so she stays away from heavy makeup. But it's kind of funny because even though she has dry skin, she always uses powder foundation. And I kept telling her that if she really wanted to conceal the dry patches, she needed to use something more hydrating or something that was a little bit better to work with her skin. She used it for the first time today, and so the entire time we were like messaging back and forth, like trying to figure out if she knew how to use it, because she's never applied it before since she's never used it. So the day that I bought all this stuff, it was actually because of her. Like, I was helping her pick out a bunch of new makeup to use, and I got her to get the same sponge because I love this e.l.f. sponge, and she got like a new concealer, a new foundation, and yeah, she basically got it all. She was like super happy with the results. They looked really good on her. And again, just brightening up the corners of my eyes, just because there's a lot of darkness in this area. But for the inner corners and like other little crevices, I love this. It's a Luxie 110. It's really good, and it feels really soft. And then I just go on top to blend the two concealers in. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just use my Coty Airspun to set my eyelids, just because I already know how that works with eyeshadow. And because I'm testing out that new Maybelline one, I don't want to risk it messing it up. And I set it pretty lightly. It's not like I go in there with a bunch of powder. It just helps me blend out my eyeshadow on top of it a lot better. I know a lot of people say that you shouldn't set your primer when you do your eyeshadow, but it's not really primer. It is a concealer, so I feel like you have to set it in order for the eyeshadows underneath to blend a little bit better. Look at me over here acting like I know what I'm doing. Well, to be fair, I watch a lot of YouTube tutorials, so I feel like just because I've been eyeing this palette for the greens, I might as well use the greens today and then use the other colors for a different look. But that orange shade is really, really calling my name. Yeah, I'm gonna go in with a green look, and then I might add that orange shade depending on if I like what I'm seeing. I'm gonna go in with that lighter green matte shade as my transition. I'll just go in with a smaller fluffy brush to pack it in. I really like Profusion eyeshadows, but I almost dropped it. I would have cried if this broke, because I've just been so excited to use it. I think I was just saying how I really like these shades, but they do tend to be a little powdery, so you really do have to tap off the excess. So you definitely have to build this color up. I know I just did a green look. I was like really like a month ago or a month or two ago, so it doesn't really count because it was such a long time ago and I haven't played with green eyeshadow since then. I'm also gonna try to make this look a little different. That looks so good. I mean, I gotta blend it out still, but I mean, the color on here looks so good. I'm the type of person that can't just do one eye and then do the other one. I have to do both of them at the same time, because I feel like if I only do one eye at a time, I'm gonna forget the steps that I used and that it's gonna look completely different. So I like what I have going on so far, and I do want to use the slightly darker color, which is this one right here. Oh, they do have the names on the back. I thought they just had the names on that little plastic thing. But the first color I used was Clover, and then the next color I want to use is Sage. Using a slightly smaller blending brush, I'm going to go ahead and pack that color on the outer V. I hope that they don't look like exactly the same. Although on camera it kind of does look a little bit darker. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use it to build up the crease color a little bit. And then I might just go in and add a little bit of depth with a darker brown from a different palette. It's actually looking really good. I like that a lot. Lately I've been really wanting to go back to school for cosmetology, because I obviously really enjoy makeup and stuff like that, but really I want to go back so that I can learn how to do hair. I've always been interested in like beauty and stuff like that. Like, I'm very passionate about it, not so much to like make it a career. Like, I don't want to go back to school so that I can cut hair full-time or anything like that. I mostly just want to do it because I enjoy it, and because I feel like that would be a nice way for me to save money, not only on myself but like my boyfriend. Really like how he looks when he gets a fresh fade, and I don't know, he just looks so good. So I want to be able to like cut his hair without him having to spend like $40 a month every time he goes in. And also just because it's fun, like I like being able to change the color of my hair and just being able to know like what's good for it and like how to maintain it healthy even when I experiment with it. Like how that's looking, but I do feel like I need to add a little bit of a darker shade. There's not really like a matte brown in here. There's a really pretty deep green, but it's a shimmer shade, so I don't really want to add that. I guess I could add this one. It looks a little lighter in person, so I'm just gonna go ahead and try that one and see if that will make this color a little bit better. Again, I'm just gonna go in with a small tapered brush just to pack on the color and concentrate it just on that outer V. Saying I really do want to learn how to cut hair and dye hair and just play with hair in general. I feel like that would be really cool, a cool skill to have. Like I've mentioned in the past, I get really bad anxiety working with the public, so I don't really feel like I would be able to maintain a career cutting hair, especially because hair is such like an important aspect of people's look, that I feel like people would be really rude like if they didn't like something that I did or if I messed up something. So I don't necessarily want to do it with the public. I would mostly just like to do it with my family and with, you know, friends that would trust me with their hair. But it's just been a conversation I've had. It's not something that's obviously set in stone. Last time I was in school, I went for business administration, and I feel like that was helpful at the time, and it's helped me obviously with my jobs that I've had, but it wasn't necessarily something that I was super passionate about. It was basically just like a good base for any kind of job. Whereas this type of schooling would be very specific to a skill that I want to possess. Second time I had enrolled in college, I actually had enrolled for medical billing and coding, because at the time I guess there was like a high demand in that, but it just wasn't meant to be. I had already paid for my classes and I was ready to start, and then something happened in my family life and I was not forced, but I just decided that it wasn't the right time for me to go back to school, and I just went back and got my money back before the quarter had even started. So it just wasn't meant to be at the time, I guess. I don't think I really need to cut my crease just because I did leave a lot of lid space for my lid color, but I really want to play with a couple of these. I kind of want to go in with this color, maybe that one, and then the orange color. I'm just going to use my finger for this because I feel like these shades, these shimmer shades, apply better with your finger. Don't worry, I'm going to do my nails before Saturday. I actually bought press-ons because I don't feel like spending $50 on a manicure that's only going to last a week on me. My nails grow really fast, and also the last couple of times that I've gone and gotten my nails done, they popped off like within like a couple of days of me doing them, and I went to 2 different places, so I can't just blame it on like one nail tech not doing it correctly. It was like 2 different places that it just didn't work out, so I don't want to risk it. And also I really don't want to spend 50 bucks. That's like the main reason, to be honest. I really like this. So I'm just adding that really pretty orange that's called, oh, it's called Topaz. Blending it in with that middle shade. I'm thinking I should have added that middle shade closer to the inner corner, but I'm just gonna mix them both. So I'm gonna go in with another shimmery color. This one's called Whiskey. And I'm just gonna take that whiskey color and apply it to the outer V, not B. So because the greens in this palette are a little bit more cool tone, kind of wondering if this would have looked better if I had just left it with this color. I'm just gonna go ahead and blend the brown further into my eyelid because I do feel like that orangey shade was a little bit too overpowering, especially for the cool toneness of the green. And all I'm doing is just going back and forth between the smaller blending brush I use for the brown and then the smaller blending brush that I use for the sage color. So I think I am just gonna go in again with the, I don't know how to pronounce this one, I think it's called Zenith. It's that shimmery yellow green color, and I'm just gonna add it again to the center of my lid because even though I love that orange shimmer, I feel like it was a little too much, so I'm just gonna keep it in that inner corner. Kind of looks like a leaf. And to mix the other two colors together, I'm just gonna use the shimmer shade Ignite, which is right next to Zenith, and I'm just gonna add that to the outer V. When you swatch these, they feel so buttery. And I'm just blending the colors together to kind of melt them together and create a gradient effect. It looks a little patchy, but that's why you keep blending until it works. So I kind of went ahead and finished off my eyes off camera because I was struggling a little bit with this eye blending out the outer crease because I had used so many shades to figure out how I wanted to do my eyes. But I ended up coming up with this, which I actually really like. So all I did was, let me show you. So I went ahead and used this shade right here. It is called, oh, the whiskey shade that I had used earlier. I went ahead and used that and patted it a little bit more on the outer corners of my eyes, and then to kind of set it and also blend it out a little bit, I continued to use that darker brown color, which is called Tawny, and I just basically blended it out on the outer edges, and then I also brought that tawny color a little bit more towards like base just to create that like outline, I guess, which I actually really like. And then I still use the orange shade because I really wanted to, and I feel like putting it just on the inner corner was like a good way to bring in a little bit of warmth without it being too overpowering with the rest of the eye look. It kind of reminds me of a leaf, and it's like super appropriate for the time of the year. And then I also went in with, I think it was this color. Yeah, so I used this color for the center of my lid, and that color is the color I can't pronounce. I think it's called Zenith with a Z. Yeah, I used that color on the middle part of my lid to kind of blend both the brown whiskey color and the topaz color together. And then on my inner corner, I used that super bright yellow shade, which is called Marigold. And then on top of it, just like to bring out a little bit more light, I used this color next to it called Headliner. So yeah, that's pretty much all I did for the eyeshadow. And then of course I just popped on a little bit of eyeliner to kind of bring the whole look together. And I used my favorite liquid eyeliner from Essence, the super precise liner that I just dropped on the ground. But yeah, I feel like I've been getting really good at eyeliner lately because I've been using it a lot, and that particular eyeliner is amazing for wing liner. I went ahead and filled in my eyebrows a little bit. I don't do anything too crazy for my eyebrows because I feel like I have pretty good brows to begin with. But so that is basically all I've done with my eyes. I'm kind of a little bummed that I wasn't able to show it on camera. But again, I didn't want it to sit here for a really long time, and I had to take a couple phone calls. And also I was struggling a little bit to be honest, because I don't play around with color too much. Now I'm gonna go in with my foundation. I'm just using my L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour fresh wear foundation. Also gonna try out my peach corrector. I know some people wear this underneath their foundation, but because I don't put foundation underneath my eyes, I didn't want to put it on underneath my foundation. I'm gonna see how it looks on top. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure this will be fine because it's pretty much the same color as my peachy concealer. So okay, so even though I was able to make that work, I do kind of feel like I should have done the corrector underneath. It doesn't look bad, especially when I add the concealer on top though. That looks really, really good. I'm really impressed actually. I mean, obviously I've used LA Girl products in the past, so I already know like the quality of them. And I've obviously used this foundation in the past as well, but I just feel like that was like a whole different level. Really, really do like how my under eyes look right now. I don't know if I'm just exaggerating, but I feel like they look really good. Maybe I am exaggerating, who knows? I really like to go in and not only blend out my creases with the sponge, but also with my finger, because I feel like that helps melt the product into the skin a little bit better. If I should bake underneath my eye or just go in with my regular technique, which is just dusting it underneath. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush. I use it for powder. And I'm just gonna lightly set because this is how I usually set my eyes. And I don't want to go in heavy with baking just in case I don't like how this looks. I really like how that's looking so far. I feel like that looks really nice. And the powder doesn't feel heavy underneath my eyes or drying, which is good too. So I think I'm just gonna use the same powder to set the rest of my face. Okay, so now moving on to contour. Oh crap! I forgot that I wanted to use one of the concealers to cream contour. Contour. Como se diga, hombre? So now for my nose, I'm gonna use my butter bronzer as well. And this flat blending brush and just contour my nose. Oh, I gotta remember that I have water boiling. I say that, but I don't even get up to go check it. I used to hate my nose, but I love my little dimples in my nose now. I don't know if they're actually dimples, but whatever they are, they're really cute. And I like to enhance them. I'm just adding a little bit more of that center shimmer shade because I feel like this one pops out a lot more than this one, and I want them to be equal. Make it better or worse? I think that worked. And of course, blend. Anytime you add something else, you gotta blend it out. Every time I do this, I feel like I'm shaving my face. I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild blush and Mellow Wine. This one is really pigmented though, so I really have to be really careful when I apply this. See, like I barely swipe that and it's like, bam, color. Tap it in, tap it off, and then tap it on. I still can't get over my eye look today. I feel like it looks awesome. For my highlight, I think I'm gonna go in with this Pure highlighter in Afterglow. I feel like this lighting doesn't do it justice, but it's actually really, really pretty. And it smells really good. I like to put highlight all over my face because I like to look like I'm glowing everywhere. I almost don't even want to go in with any shadow on my lower lash line because I really like how clean this looks. Especially for daytime, I feel like this looks really nice. But I obviously will go in with lashes. But before that, I'm just gonna go ahead and set my face. And because I am basically doing a test run on these products for my wedding, I'm gonna go in with my Urban Decay All Nighter Spray. Tapping it into my skin to make sure it really did absorb onto there and there aren't any droplets anywhere. Go ahead and finish off my look. I'm not gonna do the lower lash line because like I mentioned, I kind of really like how this already looks. I'm going to finish off the eyes is just adding my Ofra Rodeo Drive highlight to highlight the brow bone. I love doing this because I feel like it's like the same satisfaction as when I clean up my contour. Like it just looks so nice when you just clean that up a little bit. I guess what I could do with my lower lash line is just add a little bit of this LA Girl gel liner in Goldmine. I know it's kind of hard to see in this lighting, but it just kind of adds a little bit of color underneath. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop up some lashes before I go in with my, I almost forgot about lashes to be honest, but I'm just gonna go pop on these Ardell number 253 lashes. They kind of look like that, and complete the look. So while I let the glue dry, I'm just gonna go in with my NYX Suede lip liner in Los Angeles. It's like a dark brown color. I really like to use this on like the outer parts of my lips because I feel like it makes them look bigger. I like to slightly overline, especially this side of my lip because it's not proportioned to the other side of my lips. And then for the rest of my lip, I'm just gonna go in with my NYX Suede matte lip liner in London. This is my favorite lip liner. I will rock this color without a lipstick on top. So I just added the last final steps to this look. Added the lashes, mascara. But anyway, that is everything for today. I need to go eat and I need to go feed him. But I think I'm gonna try to do other looks with this palette because I really want to work with those blues, those pinks. Hopefully I film something different, and I think I'm still gonna also try to film my bridal look. Pretty much everything for this video. Thank you for watching if you were watching, and I will see you on my next one.